Hi, and welcome to the Dinner Agenda. This is Bo.
And this is CeeLo.
What
That's
the
a new one. You like it?
This is CeeLo.
I gotta try it a few different ones and see what's gonna stick. Wait,
So,
how many we're on we've almost done 50. This is our 49th episode.
oh my God, that's
We've
crazy.
almost done 50. And
That's
I still
crazy.
haven't settled on my intro thing. My
Maybe you
thing.
just don't. Maybe,
Maybe I just
maybe,
change it up every time.
maybe you're just a weirdo and you need to embrace
Well,
that.
that's a
And
given.
yeah,
That's a given.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do embrace it.
you
Mm-hmm.
do, you do. I have to say, your wife, she's not so happy with us.
She mad, girl.
Oh my God, it was so funny. So you had mentioned in the last episode that she had started the online auctioning thing again. And
Yes.
apparently some of the folks that listened to the podcast were messaging her saying, "Oh my God, you're at it again." You know?
Ha ha
Anyways,
ha 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 at you, laughing at your expense. Yes.
so I get this text
Listen,
from your wife. I think you were on it too.
yeah,
She was giving us the finger and she was like, "You guys suck." And I just
many
couldn't.
fingers.
Many, many fingers. I could not
Fingers
stop
all along.
laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. It's like, you know, at one point we're going to have to decide when we put in a Mel comedy hour, where we
Okay,
focus
okay.
just on Mel's shenanigans and leave it at that. It'll be a Mel comedy
We
hour.
but we would be it would be you and I basically making fun of
Oh,
her
yeah.
for an hour.
Oh,
And
100%.
then and then we could call the episode like something that she wouldn't listen to.
Exactly. Like cotton socks. Or
Yes,
would she listen to something called menopause?
probably not.
Okay. All right. Laundry,
Oh, yeah.
those kinds of
Joys
things.
of laundry.
The joys of laundry. There we go.
Joys
So,
of laundry.
so for all you listeners out there, if you see an episode titled "The Joys of Laundry," you know it's
Then you
not
know.
about the joys of laundry.
Then you know.
So,
Mhm.
what have you been up to this week?
It's been good. I was listening to last week's episode and we talked
Mhm.
about the fact that we were going out for dinner and we said we'll do a full review for everybody. So
Oh,
it was
that was
delish.
it was fucking amazing, and I'm so surprised. I'm so
You're
surprised. Mhm.
surprised that it was good?
Yes.
Why? Because Dave picked it?
No. No, no, no. Dave usually actually picks really good restaurants. No, I was surprised it was so good because the whole menu was game meat. And
Yes.
game meat can be very gamey tasting. And if it's not prepared really well, you know what I mean? That can be tough and it can be.
Hmm.
So Dave was really thrilled about it. Mel was really thrilled about the restaurant because it was like all meat. They were like, oh, let's go eat, right?
Yes.
I was kind of like, okay, let's just wait and see. Anyways, CeeLo, did I ever fucking enjoy my meal? Oh,
I'm so
I had the,
glad.
I know, me too, me too. I had the venison rack. It did not taste gamey. It was so incredibly tender. It was so well seasoned. Their sides and the appetizers that we had were flippin' phenomenal. Didn't you have the wild caught trout?
I did. The trout was delish. It was so good.
It looked really good. I was on the fence about that because trout is my favorite fish. But
I do.
Dave was like, "No, no, no. You're not having trout because you
You
have
have
that
to
at
go.
home.
Go be
You have to eat something."
adventurous.
Which I was,
Well,
yeah.
I'm happy to do some little tastings, but I'm trying to cut back on my red meat. So that was
Yes.
not the restaurant for me, but the trout was
No.
lovely, so all good.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the venison meatballs in polenta
Mm,
appetizer, come on
yeah.
now, that was so good.
Wasn't it? Was that not the best polenta you've ever tasted in your life?
Yes, because I
Yeah.
don't like
Mhm.
polenta. I don't like mashed
Mm.
potatoes. I know it's a shocker, but
Oh my God, you
it's
are a
just like
weirdo.
it's just mush to me, so I don't really
It's
like the texture of
not.
it, so I'm like, "Meh,
Okay.
polenta is just gonna be, like, mushy," but it was
Yeah.
flavorful and creamy deliciousness.
Well, the funny thing is, I know Mel ordered a couple of appetizers for the table kind of thing, almost.
Mhm.
They were the raw seafood, like the raw shrimp and scallops.
It's ceviche.
That,
It's
and
not
then
raw because it's cooked in the
in
lime
lemon.
juice. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still kind of raw. Like, I
Ish.
mean, even ish. Yeah, she picked up one of the shrimps and she was like, "Yeah, this looks pretty fresh."
Pretty,
Right?
yeah.
And then she ordered the raw meat. What was that?
The dog food à la carte. No, it was a venison tartare.
Yes, venison tartare. Okay, so your bloody daughter, CeeLo,
Yes.
Izzy B. So she's like, she forces me to eat shit. She forces me to try crack. And you know what she does? You know what she does? So if there's something gross on the table and I'm all like, ew, she's like, you got to eat it. If I try it, you've got to. And I'm like, no. She goes, do you remember that time? Do you remember that time you made me try oysters? And I was all like, she throws
And
it
I
up in
love
my
them.
face. Yeah, now she loves them. At the time, she was like, I don't know. It looks like snot. So, anyways, she made me
Now
try the.
she loves
Yeah,
oysters. Loves,
I
loves
know.
oysters.
I know. She's my girl. She's my girl.
Mhm.
She takes after her and they ball in
She
every
does,
way.
for sure.
So she made me try the venison tartare.
Mhm.
And the flavor was okay. The flavor was actually surprisingly okay. You know what it was for me? You know, when you said about the texture
Mhm.
of mashed potatoes, it was like that for me with the venison, the raw venison, like the raw red meat. The texture was very off putting to me. So
Mhm.
I didn't quite enjoy that. But the texture of the, what is it, ceviche?
Ceviche, yeah.
Ceviche? With the shrimps and the scallops, that was actually really good. I enjoyed that.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
really
ceviche
enjoyed
is
that.
really good. I'm not a huge shrimp and scallop fan, but I'll have
Mm.
ceviche every once in a while. The
What
venison,
exactly are you a fan of, CeeLo? You don't want red meat, you don't want shrimp, you don't want scallops. I
something
know
some
pasta is your love of life.
I do
Mhm.
love pasta.
I know you do.
It's not that I don't want red meat. I've never been a huge red meat fan anyway, and I'm just trying to cut back on it. So I'll have some here and there, but
Mhm.
to get that, what did Mel get? The bison steak that was like the size of a
She
plate? It was
the
huge.
bison rib steak, it was huge. It was like a brontosaurus. It was like Fred Flintstone's brontosaurus
It was
steak.
Fred Flint, and she ate
Mm,
well, she ate most of it. She didn't eat all of it because,
most of
the boyfriend is his boyfriend
mhm.
and helped to
Mhm.
finish off whatever anyone wasn't finishing. That's the benefit of an 18-year-old boy at the table.
Mhm.
Um, but she she felt so jammed afterwards. She's like, "Oh my god, my stomach, I have to walk." Yeah,
Yeah,
jammed.
she looked like she was definitely in pain for sure. It was pretty fun. So she had the bison rib steak.
Yeah.
Dave had the boar chop,
Yes.
and you had the trout, and I had the venison rack. Oh my god, it was so good. But
Yeah.
funny that I got to meet your daughter's
The
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
La 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 la. He's cute. He's such a nice boy. He
He
seems like a
is.
really nice guy.
He is. He's such a good
You know?
kid. Yeah.
Even Dave said on our way home, he's like, you know how sometimes you meet people and it's like they give you like the heebie-jeebie, like
Mhm.
you just know something's
Oh,
not
yeah,
quite there,
total.
you know?
Mhm.
Dave said, I don't think he's gonna do anything to Iz that she doesn't want to have done. Like he just said,
Oh
like,
god,
you know,
yeah.
like he
Yeah.
seems like he's gonna be very respectful. And I thought that was really kind of cool.
Yes, he's super sweet. He's
Yeah.
very, kind of loving, like a teddy
Yeah.
bear kinda guy, and he's very,
Hungry. No, I'm
focused
kidding.
on yeah, he's very hungry guy. I'm like, I don't know where he put it. He has a hollow leg like
I
my
know.
son, but very
Yeah, yeah.
focused on family, loves spending time with his family and doing kind of family events. He felt so happy to be included in that dinner. He's like, "I'm
Aw.
in. I feel like I'm in, guys."
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much alike those 2 are, eh? Like, in terms of personality and outgoingness, it's really kind of
Yes.
cute to see, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
You know?
They are a cute match together,
Yeah,
so
yeah. The
mhm.
only issue that I have,
Mhm.
is the fact that he's talking about going so far away to university. And, CeeLo,
I know.
I know, and I mentioned this at the table. I was like, "You're not taking Isabella away. Like, you're not. Like, don't even think about it because you know what happens sometimes with these relationships, right? It's like
Yeah,
sometimes they actually
gotta
work.
follow. Yeah, oh, yeah,
Well,
for sure.
at this age, and
Yeah.
they, continue on, and then they end up, together. Also, yeah, like you said, it's not
Mhm.
uncommon for one or the other to follow, right? And probably start living together at some point. And, I just kind of like, fuck, I
Mhm.
don't want her going that far away because I enjoy our family dinners and like, I don't want to miss, I don't get to see her like you guys get to see her as often and
Yeah.
stuff. So the times that I do get to
Mhm.
see her, I want to be able to embrace what she's going through, what she's experiencing,
Yeah.
that. And if she's too far away, then I mean, goddamn, that's just not,
I know.
that's
We'll just have to be
so,
purposeful about our planning, but either way, like, she's going
mm,
away to university. I don't know how far, but she was
yeah.
at one point talking about Dalhousie, and that's a flight away. At least, like, going north, I can drive
Yeah.
there, you know?
Yeah, exactly,
Mm.
exactly.
But
Well,
yeah. Okay,
let's wait
so
and
we
see what
we said
happens.
we took some pictures of our fancy dinner,
Oh, yes,
so we can
yes,
post them up
yes.
on the stories on
Let me
Instagram.
let me make a note of that. Yeah, I should
Make
do
a
that.
note of
Post
that,
pic.
please. Yes, thank you. I'll
Yeah,
post some
okay.
pics. Post some pics.
Perfect.
So
Hmm.
what else have I been up to? Okay, so I started physio this week for my knee,
Oh, okay. So for the
finally.
listeners, let me just explain. I know you've been having trouble with your knee, but when I
Yeah.
saw you last weekend,
Mhm.
you were limping pretty bad, and I cannot believe how swollen your knee was. Like,
Mhm.
it's insane, CeeLo. Something is not quite right there. But okay, so now you've started physio.
I
What's
started
going on?
physio.
Yeah.
Well, she wanted me to use a cane. I'm
Wait,
so
wait,
old.
wait, wait. Do you remember
Yeah.
when I was having my knee arthritis flare and I had to use a cane and I was in
Yeah.
so much pain and I met you at the keg for dinner and
Mhm.
I walked over to the table and all you did was laugh
Mhm.
continuously as I made
Mhm.
my way over to the table. Do you remember that? Mhm. Would you like to
Very
borrow my
well.
cane? Mhm.
I actually had one in the basement. I don't even remember what it's from, but we had one. So I used it. I hate it.
Mhm.
'Cause the worst of it is, like, if I'm sitting for more than 5 minutes, really, and I go to get up, that's
Mhm.
the worst. Once I start walking slowly, slowly, it gets a little bit better, and then it gets a little bit more so the idea it's like, I just need a cane for the first 5, 10 minutes, and then I'm good after that, and I don't wanna have to
Yeah.
carry it.
But I
Stupid.
think I know, but I think what the doctor's saying or the physiotherapist is saying is they want to try to alleviate some of the pressure that you're putting onto your knee
Yeah,
when you're walking, and the
yeah,
cane does help with that. So you're going to laugh, but at Shoppers Drug Mart,
yeah.
they sell the hurricanes. Have you seen the commercial for the hurricanes?
No.
Okay. Okay, we're fucking getting old. This is pathetic. This is bloody pathetic. Okay, so the hurricanes are a cane that can stand up on its own. So like if you're used like
Oh, so it's got, like,
it's got the
4
three prongs or
posts.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The 3 feet or whatever it is. Anyways, so it can stand up on its own, which is helpful because when you're out or sitting at your desk or something, anytime you lean the cane up, it's fallen all over the place. So this is helpful because it kind of can stand on its own. But it can also you pull it and it folds up, so you can throw it in your bag. So if you don't want to
Mm.
use it or you don't have to use it at that moment, you can throw it in your bag. So and I think it's only
Okay.
like 20 bucks, or it was before the bloody
Mhm.
tariffs came into play. So I have no idea now, but it was, it was at
It's
the time only 20 bucks. And that was, when did I have my knee issues? I don't know, 4 years ago.
okay, I'm not running out to buy a hurricane, okay?
Oh, I'll just get it for your birthday then. No problem.
Chuck
Happy
you
birthday
Farley.
to you.
I I've had 2 appointments this week,
Hmm.
and, today I had one earlier, and she did acupuncture.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so we did some acupuncture. She's like, "We're just gonna throw everything at this, and if you feel like it's working, we're gonna stick with it." And I've
Hmm.
been doing my exercises diligently.
Good.
Yeah, I need it to be better. I mean, I honestly, I go nowhere fast. I am not going to be in marathon shape ever. But I walk a lot and I
Oh, you
move
do?
a lot. And so
Yeah.
having like it has been almost like to the point where I want to cry
Yeah.
because
I'm
it's
sorry, Silo.
impacting me. So I can't sleep for fuck's sakes because I'm still on one side for more than 10 or
Yeah.
20 minutes and I'm in so much pain I have to try and reorganize myself in the bed. I'm getting
Yeah.
like zero sleep. I fucking
I'm so
hate
sorry.
it.
I
Yeah,
know. I know.
it's brutal.
You know, I remember, and you know what, people who don't have this kind of pain don't quite understand it. It's the same thing like with people who suffer from severe back pain, you know, like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like back
Yeah.
pain, knee pain. I mean, it's excruciating. And I remember there was a period of time where my pain, the knee and my pain was just so bad. I mean, you know, I was using a cane, but it got to the point where somebody had said, "Hey, do you want to go to like there's this like I don't know what it was, like a some kind of outdoor festival." And I think it was like ciders or something, like a whole bunch of vendors that were selling homemade ciders, or I don't know, something like that. I think it
Something
was down
fun
at Ontario Place. It was down at
that you
Ontario
normally
Place.
would have been like, "Yeah, totally, I'll go."
100%. And I actually said to my friend, "Okay, hold on a second. You said it's at Ontario Place. I'm familiar with that, and I know that the
You
parking
gotta
is
walk.
you gotta walk a good 20 minutes to half an hour to get to the actual location." And I actually said to her, "I don't think I can go." Like, I actually could not go because I was just like, "I'm not gonna make it. I will be in tears in pain. Like, I
Yeah,
can't do it." Like,
yeah,
it's terrible and debilitating, and I don't think people get it. And, you know, it's terrible. It's terrible.
yeah, it's totally terrible, and with the
Mm.
knee, it's like, "Oh, fuck, it hurts to go down the stairs, but everything else is
Yeah,
fine," or, "It hurts to
yeah,
go, do a certain thing," or whatever, but
yeah,
it's hurting all the time. It's like back pain. When I've had a back
yeah.
thing happen before, it's like there's no position you can lie in
No,
or way you can
no,
move to make it feel any
no,
better, and it
no.
sucks.
I'm so sorry. The only thing that I found that has helped, CeeLo, and I'm sure you're probably doing it, but if not, so Voltaren cream at night, a
Mhm,
couple of Tylenols, and like, so first what I do is I ice the knee for a
mhm.
good 10 minutes, pop some Tylenol, put some Voltaren cream, like extra strength, find the extra strength one, put that on, and that tends to, and when I'm having a flare up, I mean, I'm not having one right now, but when I do have one, that seems
Yeah.
to help a little bit from a sleeping perspective. So,
Well,
you
she
know,
recommended heat and the Voltaren. In fact, she wrote down something that was like a
mm.
stronger than a Voltaren cream,
Oh,
that I need
oh,
to get a prescription for. So
you need to
I'm
tell me
like,
what the
write
fuck
that
that
down,
is.
and I'll call the doctor and get that going. So
Oh, yeah. But she
yeah,
said heat, not cold.
heat.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I think the muscles are really tight around it, and that could be part
Mm,
of the problem. I don't know. I don't
I see.
know. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
so 2 days down, she's booked me 2 days a week for the rest of the month, and I'm gonna stay on it. I'm gonna be really diligent, and I'll be good to moving around. The
Good.
on the upside, though, she says, "What have you got to do this weekend?"
Mhm.
And she's like, "I don't want you carrying laundry up and down stairs." And I'm like, "Okay, can I get that written down so I can share it with my kids?" Yeah?
A doctor's order.
Um, yeah, doctor's order. No carrying shit up and down, so
You should have had her put on there, no carrying things up and down, no actually physically doing the laundry, no getting up from the couch for 48 hours.
no, that's like the opposite. She's like, "Don't sit or stand for longer than 20 or 30 minutes. Get moving."
Okay.
It doesn't have to be long or far, like, do
No,
little
just
walks,
move it.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
move it around,
Maybe
so
even if you, like, just kinda pump your legs like in bicycle motion kind of in the air for if you're sitting or
yeah.
something, just move it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been trying to do my exercises kind of under the desk at work or in a meeting where I'm just, like, constantly just trying to
Yeah,
flex it in and out, but yeah, good times.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, uh, tonight, let
Yes.
me share with you, you and Sarah, the smiling sloth, one of our listeners who was talking about the transition lenses. So
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow I have my eye doctor appointment where I know I'm going to need a new prescription. But tonight, Dave as well has his appointment, and we both know we need new prescriptions. So, what we're going to be doing, because we have a lot of running around to do, we're going to go tonight to pick out some new frames. And then tomorrow, when we get our new prescription, the frames will be chosen, and then we literally just kind of do the
Drop
the
it off.
purchase. And yeah, and I'm gonna do the transition lenses. I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna do the transition lenses. I'm gonna give them a shot and see how I like them.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if they get dark enough for driving during the
Yeah,
sunny times, and then if they clear to clear when you're inside. These are
yeah,
my questions.
I'm curious too. Some of the people that I've spoken to who have them love them. I
Yeah.
haven't spoken to anybody yet who's like, mm-mm. So I don't know, CeeLo, but I'll let you
I
know.
don't know. I don't know,
Yeah,
girl.
I know. But that's happening. So I will let you know. It takes about 2 3 weeks for the new glasses to come in, right? So
Mm.
probably our fourth episode, I'll probably have the new glasses on and then show you
You'll be ready for a full report.
a full frontal.
Hello.
That's not happening. It's not happening.
I do have some other running around to do this weekend because we have a birthday boy coming up.
Yes, you do.
We have
Yes,
a
you
birthday
do.
boy.
That's on Sunday, right?
Yeah, we made
Yeah.
reservations for 6 because the girlfriend is coming with him and is bringing the boyfriend. So
Oh
now we're
my
like a family of
god.
6.
Oh
Anyways,
my god. So the girlfriend's coming to CeeLo, this is crazy. Now when do I get to
I
meet the
know.
girlfriend?
I don't know. He's like, he wasn't sure if he was going to invite her to the birthday dinner.
I'm
So
glad he
this is
did.
like a big thing. Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
see. They're moving
Okay.
slow.
Okay. That's okay.
Um, and he picked, so when it's your birthday in our family, you get to pick your restaurant. And he wanted
Mhm.
ramen. So, yes, do love some ramen.
Oh,
So we're
yeah.
going for ramen. But I thought it would be funny to share. So I'm like, what do you want for your birthday? Like, you need to let me
Mhm.
know. So he
Mhm.
made a shared note, right, on the phone, notes in phone, how you
Yep.
can share it. And it's called Buddy's Birthday.
Birthday.
Birfday. Birthday.
Mhm.
And he's in grade 9. So I hope
Oh,
that
it was on purpose.
it's a joke, right?
Yes, it's on purpose.
Okay.
CeeLo, it has to be. Come on.
Mhm.
It is.
I'd like to review with you a few of the things that he's got on his birthday wish list because none of
Please
them
don't
are
say
less
it.
than $200.
Oh, I was gonna say, please don't say it's like condoms or something, because it's
Oh
like I
my
couldn't.
god, no. Stop it.
Well, I
I don't wanna think about that. He
All
keeps
right,
these
what are the
these
items?
were on his birthday list, like, last year, they were on his Christmas list. He wants a pair of Yeezy slides, which are basically flip-flops in my mind.
But hold on a second.
Yep.
Yeezy? Like Kanye?
Yeezy. Like Kanye
Like the
Yeezy
crazy, like,
slides.
like he's like off and like Hitler loving and him? He wants
Uh-huh.
those shoes? Are they
That's what
still
I
in
said.
style? Like, I guess they are if he's
They
asking for
are,
them.
lots of people have them. I said, "I'm not
Okay.
buying anything from Kanye. Sorry, it's not happening," but he continues to put them on his list. But, like,
Oh, are you
$300
really
for
kind of
huh?
refusing?
Oh,
You're
yeah, I'm
like
not
not
buying that shit. I'm not buying that
okay.
shit.
Okay.
$300 for a pair of flip-flops when his feet are still growing? Flip-flops, that's what they are. They're fucking flip-flops.
I have to look these up. Where's my phone?
I'm
What are they
not doing
called?
it.
Yeezy sliders?
Yeezy sliders. No, that's a burger. Slides,
Yeezy
like,
slides. Yeezy
yeah,
slide, that's a bird.
because you
Oh my
slide your foot
god.
in.
They are. You know what they look
Uh-huh.
like beach flip-flops.
They're plastic beach flip-flops. Yes, correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a pair. Oh geez.
Yes.
Wow.
And only
Oh my
beige
god.
or black?
Wait. There's one that's listed here on Amazon for $618. That's fucking
Yes.
nuts. It
Right?
ranges from yeah, 250 to 640. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Okay, so he wants Yeezy slides, not the
Yeezy slide.
sliders.
Then he's
Mhm.
got on there baggy jeans,
Okay.
but He'd really just prefer money to go out and buy his own, so
Is that
money.
what it says?
Uh-huh. So he can
Didn't
find the right ones. Okay.
didn't he try to get money from you when he had to plan his trip, his graduation trip or something? And he was like,
Yes.
"No, no, don't take me. Just give me the money." Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
Give me the
now we know
cash.
what his motive is. Okay.
Just give me the cash. He's
Yeah.
got a golf rangefinder for 250, a
What is that?
GoPro or an Insta360 camera, which are like
Oh,
$600,
oh my gosh.
AirPod Pros 320. Oh, cash also on the list. He's got a $250 men's cologne on there.
Which one?
PDM Layton.
No, haven't heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's on his list. So I said to him, I'm like, so there's a lot of expensive things, as usual, on your list. Do you think maybe you could tell me what your top two are? Because you're not fucking getting them all.
That's nuts. That's nuts. What you need to do is you need to tell your kids birthday gifts in your lists. They can't be more than whatever you want to spend, like 150
Whatever the
per
price
item.
is.
Yeah, or $100 per item or something. They can't be more than that.
I just kind of felt like
Fucking crazy.
that
Cat
apple
cow?
didn't fall that apple didn't fall far from the other tree in this house. You know what I'm saying?
I
Are you picking
do.
up what I'm putting down?
I am picking up what you're putting down. He is taking after your
Yes.
wife. I know.
Yes.
And here's the ironic thing about it. He was cooked and baked with her egg. So there
That's
is
true.
even though you put him in your oven and you baked him nice, there has
Yeah.
got to be some genes that she
Yes.
fucking passed down to your son
I think it's
because
just
oh
so
yeah,
funny because, like, that is so her. She'll go out and
yeah,
spend
100%.
$500 on something without batting an eye,
Yeah,
and I'll go out and spend, I'll buy 100 things for $20.
yeah,
But for me to spend 500, I'm like,
yeah,
"Ooh, that feels like so much money." And, like, his wish list looks like that, and Iz's
yeah,
wish list is like a
like
whole,
yours.
like, 90 things
Value
on it that are
Village.
all yeah, that are
I
all
wanna
like
go
40 bucks or
thrifting.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, CeeLo, that's so funny. That's so
Yeah.
funny. Well, you know, another thing that we can blame Mel for.
Yes, that's true. We could add it to our Make Fun of Mel, podcasts,
We definitely
episode.
could. Now, what this also tells me is that you need to keep that boy away from online auctions because
Truth. Very true.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you can't tell me what you bought him yet on
No.
this
Well,
till it's
I
yeah
don't think he's
over, but
gonna listen, but I'm
mm,
we're getting him some gift cards, and I told the
okay.
fam the same store gift card
Uh-huh.
so
So
that
he can
he
go and
can go
purchase.
and pick and buy.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's a really good
Yeah.
idea. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your ramen. It sounds delish.
Yeah, it'll be
Like
fun.
really
It'll be
good.
good.
Yeah. Good, good.
It'll be good.
Well, I watched this documentary the other day.
Ooh, tell me, I love it.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. It was the Sinead O'Connor documentary called Nothing Compares.
Oh,
Have you seen
I
it?
watched it
You did.
a while
CeeLo?
ago.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just put it
I'm like,
on.
"Is there
Yeah, it's
another
been out
one?"
for a bit. It's been out for a bit. But I wanted to ask you something then, since I know that
Okay,
you've watched it now.
let's go.
I used to think that Sinead kind of went a little bonkers, right? Like at one point, it's like she seemed to kind of unravel and then she was out of the public eye and she was gone. And then, she came back and she, was dressed really odd and, like when she was much older and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that, okay, so she's,
Mm.
probably not all that stable and whatever, whatever. But then I watched the documentary, CeeLo, and I actually was like, oh my God, I think that she was totally, totally misunderstood. And she was totally targeted for just wanting to have a voice. Now, did she take certain things a bit too far? Sure, maybe. But she was an activist,
Mhm.
like she was an activist. And it wasn't that she was bonkers. She was an activist and she cared about the world and people. And I felt really shitty for her. I felt really bad for her because she was treated so badly.
Yes,
What were
I
your
agree
thoughts?
with you. And that what I was thinking when I watched it was how crazy it was, like, when that song first came out, Nothing Compares to You. Like,
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
all listening on repeat. We all had
yeah.
the CD or whatever, the tape.
Mhm.
And then it felt like, "Oh, she's gone off the rails. She's bonkers." And it
Yeah,
was and you just kind of consume that information without doing any
yep.
research or I mean, we were kids and there was no internet, but
What
you know what I mean?
no.
Like,
Yeah,
and then you watch that and you watch the documentary and it's exactly that. She was an activist, she was outspoken, she was punished by it, and they changed the whole narrative around
they
her
did. They did
so
just
that
to destroy her.
sh
Yeah,
yeah, to
to shut
destroy
her
her.
up. To shut her up, to keep her
100%.
silent. Yep,
Yeah.
because they didn't like what she was pushing back on.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck. You know, I thought that was really crappy. Now there was you're going to kill me, but the concert that she had done where people were booing her, it was I think Live Aid. I think she went to Live
Yeah.
Aid and the
Mhm.
people were booing her. Who was that burly famous singer man that was trying to support her? He was hugging her at the end. He Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know exactly what part you're talking about, and I
Yeah.
can't remember
Okay.
who it was.
Okay. So I'll figure that out. I'll Google it and I'll
Burly
figure that
Singer
out.
Man. Let me Google Burly Singer Man. I'll see what comes up.
He's somebody that we know, and I know we know his songs, but I cannot for the life of me. Bob Seger? No. Is that Bob Seger? No. No, right? No.
No.
No, I have no idea. Anyways, he looked familiar, but I was very impressed with how sensitive he was to what she was going through because before she went out, he was
Yeah.
like, "You got this. It's okay. You've got this. Just ignore them. You've got this." And then at the end, when they booed her, and then she said, "Well, essentially in her mind, she was like, well, fuck you guys. I'm not going to sing the song you want me to sing. I'm going to sing the one that you guys, you know, destroyed me over, right?
Right,
Which
right.
was that Bob Marley, what was it, One Love or whatever it was?
Yep.
No, it was
Yep.
one of the Bob Marley songs. That was like a protest to injustice. So she did that, and then and everybody was just booing her, booing her, booing her. And then when she
Yep.
came off the stage, he grabbed her and he hugged her and he said, "You've done nothing wrong." And I was like, "Oh my God, I want to
Right?
hug this man. I want to hug this man."
Do you know the man
Yeah.
you wanna hug?
Who?
Chris Christopherson.
Okay. Yes. Chris
I
Christopherson.
had to Google it. I had to Google it. He famously came to her aid, offering comfort and
Yes.
support on stage
Yes.
amidst boos and jeers from the audience.
Yeah. I'm glad
That
that you
was
looked that
in
up. Chris
SNL.
Christopherson.
It was her SNL performance in 1992.
Are you? No, 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 no. She did the SNL performance where she ripped up the picture of the Pope. That was on Saturday Night Live. But the
Yeah.
concert, I think, was a Live Aid concert that what's his face was Christopher. What did you say his name was? Christopher what?
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson. Christopher. Is he like our generation or something? Why don't I know
I
this?
think he's a little older than our gen, and he's not
Okay.
exactly
Okay.
burly, but,
Well, he looks
I
burly to
do
me.
remember it was from, the SNL time that she was on SNL in
Was it?
'92,
Okay,
yeah.
then maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I thought that it was a lovely thing that he did for her. At least she wasn't totally alone. But I felt really fucking bad for her. She had such a horrible upbringing. Her mom was so
Totally.
abusive,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that that song Troy that she wrote, was about her mom. Like how
Oh, I don't
sad.
remember that part.
Yeah, basically. So at one point, yeah, the song was about her mom, and it was basically about like if you listen to the kind of like the lyrics and stuff, it's like she talks
Mhm.
about being out in the garden or being outside or something like that, and the mom not leaving the light on in the window, and she should have left the light
Mm.
on, and wanting to love her, and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
not being able to, that kind of stuff, and yeah, her mom was super abusive, and at one point, so in that song, she references the garden. Her mom kicked her out of the house, but forced her, like essentially she was young, and forced her to live in the garden for 2 solid weeks straight,
Yes,
day
I
and night.
remember.
And she was huddling in the grasses trying to keep warm, especially at night. And she would look up at the house and she would see the mom's light on, and then she'd call out to her mom, and then the mom would hear her, and then she'd flick the light off. Like just to really
I
make her feel isolated and alone.
Yeah.
You know, just listening to her, CeeLo, about her story broke my heart.
Yeah.
That poor woman had been through so much. And then because of her empathy, so she went the other way. A lot of people who
Yeah.
have parents like that will either become like them or they will become the opposite, and she was just filled with empathy, and she was trying to make the world a better place. And she just got crucified, and that just wasn't fair.
She was totally
Wasn't fair.
crucified. Yeah, I remember it was a while back that I watched it. So if you were like, tell me what it was about, there's like the sentiment behind it that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was bad. So bad.
I know.
A
I know.
heartbreaker.
It really honestly was. It really opened my eyes to how media can really skew things to their advantage. And I know there's so much controversy, just about conspiracy theories and all this other stuff and blah blah
Hmm.
blah. But it's like, you know what, honestly, CeeLo, it's like you really just don't know sometimes. You really just don't know. And I guess it's that whole reminder of there's always two sides to every story, sometimes
That's
three.
true.
You
And
know?
you need to do your research and not just Google. Do your research to learn before you make
Mhm,
up your mind or before you take a
mhm.
stance or make a decision.
But even then, who knows who really has the right story.
Yeah, yeah, but you can read at least like make an effort to kind of read all the sides of something as opposed
Yeah.
to just taking what you're fed.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah.
I'm like what I'm at, right? Cuz we're the way we're served up information, media,
It's true. Mhm.
news, news about celebrities, political
Mhm.
news, all of that is just served up to you very purposefully. And so
Mhm.
you can just take that at face value and not
Mhm.
lean in and do a bit of research on your own. Um,
Mhm.
which is probably fine for some stuff, like it doesn't matter, but if you're going to take a stance and have an opinion, I think you should at least take the time to kind of learn and read about both sides of something before you
Yeah. Yeah.
start spouting.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Have you by any chance, or do you what are you laughing at? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because remember if you like a while back on episodes, I was saying how my stepdad takes pictures of news articles and sends them to us with stuff
Yes.
like
What do you do?
underlined and highlighted and what do you think about this or read this
Mhm.
here, woo, exclamation, all in the
Mhm.
thing. He had sent something, I think it was last week, and I don't think any of us responded, but my my one sister responded with, "Okay, that's one point of view, but you need to broaden your perspective beyond the Toronto Sun. Like, go read
Okay, I
something else too," is what
was
she
that
said
Vicky?
to
Is
him.
that Vicky?
No, it was Mare.
Was it Meredith? Okay.
I just hearted it. I'm like, I can't engage on that stuff. It's just so bad.
That's so funny. That's
But
so
as we were
funny.
talking about it, I'm like, that's exactly what she was essentially telling him
Getting
to do
at.
before he'd made up his mind on something.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
But
Well, on that note of making up your mind about something, do you by any chance, and I'm going to assume that the answer is no, but do you by any chance follow or see any little snippets about Britney Spears
Brittany,
on
bitch. No, I don't.
Okay, so I'm going to task you, because I know that you're on Instagram. I'm going to task you with taking a look at her Instagram page, whatever they call it. Just go to her Instagram. And I want you to
Okay.
take a look at a bunch
Like
of
right now?
her. No, 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 no. No, after, because we'll chat about it afterwards, but I wanna kinda
Okay.
get your take on it because, there was that whole did you knew about the Free Britney movement and stuff?
Yes, I
Okay.
did watch a documentary about it, I
Yeah.
think, too, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, talking about two sides to every story, not really knowing what the heck is going on,
Mhm.
and it's like when I was hearing about all of this and I was following it in the news and in the media, it was like, "Oh my god, this poor fucking girl, this poor fucking girl." It's
Yes,
like it
yes.
seemed like her father and it was only interested in the money. The mother just couldn't give a flying shit.
Yeah,
Like she was just kind of like just used and abused for her money and performances and it just seemed so bad, like to the point where like I think one of the things said that her father had forced her to the doctors to get an IUD put in so that she couldn't have another child. And he wouldn't provide approval to have that IUD removed. And because of the conservatorship, she needed his approval on any medical decisions. And he would force her into doing these kinds of things by saying, "Well, I won't let you see your children." Right. So she was kind of like stuck to have to do his bidding. However, so that was that. And I'm not saying that
yeah.
that was not true. And I'm not saying that that was not, that she could have
Warren.
lived on her own and handled herself on her own.
Yeah.
But when you do take a look at her Instagram post, I do feel like there's something not quite right with her. And there's a part of me that's like, I kind of get why your parents may have thought that you needed management.
Right.
But on the flip side, it was probably way too overboard, right? So
There
take a
yeah.
look.
Okay, I'll
I'd
take
like
a
to
look.
get your opinion, and then we can chat about it. Okay?
We can chat about it next episode. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. I will do that.
Okay.
Um, I also think it feels like that whole child star thing just is
Mm,
bad news, right? Like it's bad
yeah.
news all around. It's bad news for the kid, it's bad news for the parents. They seem to have
Yeah.
feel like they have some overarching
Yeah.
control over things. But how do you relinquish that up when your kid is still just a kid and not yet an adult? Like mine's going to be
Hmm.
officially an adult in another year.
Hmm. Hmm.
The brain is
I
not
know.
yet fully developed, bro. And so add on top of that like stardom
Hmm.
and money. I was gonna say funding.
Funding.
It's been a busy work week. Money and stuff like that,
You're
right?
still
Like
planning. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's
So
kind of also like, and okay, so I don't know if this is a correct theory, but we're just shooting the shit here.
shoot the shit.
Um, Kind of like in my mind. Okay, so what was that girl's name? Laura McCready. McCready. She was.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, she wrote a book called "I'm Glad My Mother's Dead."
Huh, that's
I'm
kind of
gonna.
harsh.
Yeah, Jeanette McCurdy. Jeanette McCurdy.
Okay.
So she was, I think, like a Nickelodeon kind of star. She was a young child star, and her mom kind of encouraged this profession and was when she began to show an aptitude for acting.
Yeah.
Her mom started to encourage it, similar to Britney. She was encouraged, similar to Justin Bieber. He was encouraged.
Yeah.
And I find that as these children become lucky and get a
Yeah.
bit of a break, um, it's almost like CeeLo, these parents are kind of like narcissists in the waiting, if they're not already there. You know what I mean? Like they have narcissism, but then it's accentuated and brought out full force because they get this taste of power, money, dominance,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. And then they lose sight of their child and the child's
Oh yeah.
needs for their own gain. And I say this because, it seems like Britney for the most part was kind of used a little bit from her by her family.
Yeah.
And then
Thanks.
you look at this Jeanette McCurdy, and if like I read the book, and it was oh my god, the poor girl. But like I mean, her mom would treat her so horribly just because she wanted her to be a certain way. She wanted her to be so skinny, so popular, and like it was
Yeah.
just it was crazy. And the pressure that she was put under solely to make a dollar for the family, and her saying, I don't want to do this anymore, and the mom's like, that's not an option, you have to. Right.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, the same thing. I mean, if you've watched some of the stuff that happened with him,
Oh,
especially around the time P. Diddy kind of got arrested,
yeah.
uh, it's like it started to come out like his mom would leave him with P. Diddy for weeks
I know. I so don't get
as like a
that.
14-year-old kid. It's like, what the fuck, lady? Would you just, like, I don't give a shit who the fuck he is. My kid would not be staying with any fucking, I would be at that house with that kid. If my
Yeah.
kid was desperate to do it, there would have to be a
I
place
would
for
be
me there
there.
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would
100%.
take a lot. Like, I guess it's hard though, right? Because at that age, like I would say 14,
Mm,
if Nathaniel, like, he hangs out with Joe from school all the time. I hear about Joe. They're going for lunch. They play ball together, whatever.
mm-hmm.
And now Joe's having a sleepover party on Friday night. I'm like, okay, cool. Have fun. Where does he live? Who else is going? Are the parents going to be home? Yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. And I don't even think about it. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but I have no ulterior motive in that, right? Whereas I feel like her ulterior motive is get in good with these guys. They're going to help you be famous. I'm just letting my kid go have a sleepover one night. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what's the motive in you allowing your kid to do that?
Yeah.
The other thing
Yeah.
that I think is kind of curious is the way parents take credit for their kids' successes and not for their
Yep.
kids' failures.
Yes. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's a
that's
good one,
good.
right?
That's a very good one. Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by hockey parents all the time, and I've heard how parents speak to their kids when their kids have not had a great game, and it's not good.
Yeah.
It's very blamey. It's you didn't do this, you didn't do
Mm,
that, whatever that looks like, and then you hear them when the kid maybe had a really great game,
good.
and the
Yeah.
2 dads are hanging, "Oh, yeah, yeah, good game, right? Your kid had a good game tonight. Oh, yeah, your kid had a good game." And they're congratulating each other like they were both on the ice, as opposed to the kids being on the ice. You know what I mean?
I
And so I
do.
just find that so curious that parents take credit and sometimes I think feel, guilty or feel like they should be blamed for their kid's failure, right? Like if your kid's not doing
Yeah.
well at something, then it's like, oh, it's my fault. And it's like, no, you are you doing everything to set them up for success?
Mhm.
And then off they go, and whatever
Mhm.
comes of it, and you just kind of move on from there. You can't take that on yourself. I don't know. It's
But
twisted
also,
world being a parent, you
it
know?
it definitely is. But CeeLo, I think I've said this in the past. If there was one thing that I wish my parents would have done,
Mm,
was to not be afraid of failure, to embrace failure as
mm,
a learning opportunity, because what that does is it strengthens somebody's character, it strengthens their resolve, it teaches them that if things don't always go their way, it's still going to be okay,
yeah,
right? And it doesn't mean that you're a failure because you failed at something. It just
right.
means that you failed at that thing, period.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah,
more than that. Doesn't mean that you won't, succeed with it at a later date or at another
yeah,
time, or that you never will. And maybe that's just not your thing,
yeah,
but I find that there's just so much negativity around failure and so much fear around failure.
yeah,
And then the parents pass that on to their kids, right? And then it's like, well, fuck. Now, like, I'm terrified to try new things sometimes because of that. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
but I was also
And
chastised
now,
as well.
you know,
If I did fail, it was like I was chastised. So of course I'm traumatized by
and
that.
what do
But
you
yeah,
get, like, in the workplace now, right? All the messaging is test and
yeah,
learn, fail fast, don't be afraid of failure, and it's like our
yeah,
generation and other generations, I'm sure, certainly
yeah,
are. Whereas
yeah,
we do have to take the approach of, "Well, that didn't work. What did we learn? You
yeah.
learned you loved it, and you're gonna put in extra effort and try something different next time? Awesome. You learned you didn't like it? Okay, cool, let's
Hmm.
move on to something else," right? Like,
Hmm. You learned you just really
um
didn't put the effort in because you were lazy, but you need to do. Okay, so
yeah,
now you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
totally.
pull up your socks and let's just do it and get it over and done
Did you
with. Yeah,
yeah, and did you,
Mhm.
Did you put every effort in? Did you try your absolute best? Did you, let's say it was a
Mhm.
test or something. Did you, study
Mhm.
the week before? Did you go in for extra help? You did all those things and you still got a 50 is what it is. Let's go find a
Yep.
tutor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or you didn't do shit. You didn't even crack the book and you got a 50. That's a different conversation.
That would be like, okay, so it's good that you could pass it without looking at a book. But that just means that you've got an A sitting in there somewhere if you did
I
open
know
that
it's
book.
in there.
I
And
know,
I've
I know.
had both of those conversations with people many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But just interesting. Okay, well, you know
Yeah.
what? You
So,
watch the Britney
okay,
Instagram,
I'm gonna
and
go look at the
let's
Britney.
have a conversation about this at the next episode.
Follow up. We got our follow up.
We do. We
All
do.
right, cool.
All right, honey. Talk to you soon.
Go shop for some glasses, would you?
I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
Talk to you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.